a Lady Ninja Storm of Storms of Defense, and I'm here today doing a free class to support my production company, Lady Ninja Storm Productions. We have a feature film called Red Light to bring awareness to human trafficking. I have company Storms of Defense, and I train under my uncle, Dr. Timothy Robinson. His school is Lifeline Fighting Systems of the Combative Way of Learning. And I have today my dad in the background here. He's over there teaching class, Al Robinson, and my brother, Alphonse Robinson Jr. He's over here teaching. Angie Smith, she's teaching as well today. So we thank you guys for coming out, and we just hope to raise money to get funds for our film, just so we can bring awareness to people about human trafficking, and so people can learn to be aware of their surroundings when they go out, and help them not to become victims. But we want to teach them in case situations were to occur, they know how to defend themselves. So if you want some further information, you can visit my website, www.LaVeta Cameron.com. Thanks, guys.
You've made it to the MYLF Review. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Dawn Imani, and today we have one of my favorite guests from my MYLF podcast. You might remember her from the second episode, Miss LaVeta Cameron, the executioner of Lady Ninja Storm Productions. Welcome, LaVeta. Thank you so much for joining my show, MYLF Review, today. And everyone, if you haven't done it right now, please like, comment, and subscribe to this video. So today we have Miss LaVeta Cameron, and she's on to tell you about a special production that she's creating. Could you tell us a little bit about it, please?
Yes. So this film is dear to my heart. It is my first feature film. It wasn't supposed to be it, but just evolved into from a 2 to 3 minute skit to a short film to now it's a whole feature film in the making. So it is called Red Light, and you are, one of the actors in it, Miss Dawn Imani Adams, one of the actors, and it is about human trafficking. And you, Dawn, my dear, you play one of the victims, one of the many victims we have in there, and we made it the different scenarios, real life scenarios, to make people be aware that it could really happen to them, to be where their surroundings, being kidnapped and stuff like that. And I remember when I was casting you guys, especially the victims, I had to ask you if you're okay with being, duct taped, zip tied, and, okay, be called B's and H's and pushed down to the ground and disrespected, in all the acting world, of course, but had to make sure, it would probably strike home a little bit because it became a little bit real, and we wanted to make sure everyone was safe. But I wanted you guys to know before you said yes, you want to be a part of it, what it entails. So I had to ask those specific questions. Are you okay being ripped up and grabbed and thrown around and but I had to, because that's what happens, and it is scary, and I don't want people to be victims. So that's why we're raising money to produce our film, because I'm the writer and the director and a producer and the. What am I? Oh, I'm acting it also. And Dawn, you yourself, you're a producer on it as well. Thank you so much. You're wonderful. I love you. Thank you. Because the cast is so big. I know you're getting all this paperwork. Let's about at least cast and crew, probably 70 or more. So thank you, Dawn, so much.
Thank you. And thank you for having me as a part of your production team and as a cast member. I really, truly appreciate the opportunity. And it was interesting when you did ask me to be a part of your film that, when you ask those questions, because they can be triggering, and sexual abuse is real. And, human trafficking is, it obviously is a part of that, but the abuse is real. And so when people see this film, there might be some parts of it that are very uncomfortable. And even being a part of the cast was very, it was a little uncomfortable because you definitely had to dig in and get into some dark places, and seeing certain scenes play out, really struck for me, because it really, you see the pain and the hurt, and you feel sorrow for those victims. women and children and men even that
Yes.
have gone through this type of abuse. You know, it's not just sexual abuse, it's emotional, it's physical, it's traumatic if you live through it,
Mhm.
you know. So there's so much, and there's so much weight on this topic, and a lot of people shy away from it because it is a scary topic to touch.
Yeah, and a lot of had to stress that the events that happen in the film and the script, they're fictional, but they are very close to home that you could think that it probably did or could happen. So like your victim, I think you may get victimized, kidnapped in a car or something like that. So things like that to make people like, really think twice about stepping out, playing on their cell phone and not watching where they're walking late at night by themselves, or just different things. They might think, oh, I do this all the time. And that one time you do it, you may get not paying attention. A van may come up next to you, or somebody may say, hey, what's the time? You dropped something. And just like that, they could snatch you up. They may seem unsuspecting, but you just need to know. And that's why last month we did our Storms of Defense class. We had the self-defense class. With the first one was a free fundraiser for Late Additional Productions to help Red Light, just to give a free class to the women and men to teach them the basics, the beginning of the basics of how to defend themselves in different scenarios if someone were to grab you or choke you or do, stuff like that. And your daughter and my daughters were there about 12 and 13 years old. So it was good for them. They partnered up. So it was good for them to do it as little young ladies growing up to, be aware, like, people on the street, they're getting older, they're going to start going out into the world and stuff by themselves, and they got to be aware of what to do in case someone tries to kidnap them as well. So that was good to see the people come out to practice and learn.
Yes, being aware of your surroundings is so important. And I think it's something that we overlook so often. We become complacent about our safety and our surroundings. And I like that you pointed out that our young daughters, took the class because, as parents, we want our children to be aware of their surroundings. And, we can only go so far into raising them.
I
At some
know.
point, they have to be young adults, young ladies, and they have to live on their own and walk to school or walk to a friend's house. And we have to kind of let go of that
I
of the
know.
umbilical cord a little bit. So
A little bit.
it's important to give your children space to develop and grow because they need to find that inner strength themselves. And I feel like this movie Red Light is so important because even as adults, again, we become complacent. We've been fiddling with our cell phones and no one's ever taken us then, or no one's ever done anything, and it doesn't even have to be a situation of human trafficking. It could be getting, stuck up. There's a rise in
Yeah.
crime now with all the loss of jobs and everything that's happening. You do see a lot more crime now, and it is very important to be aware of your surroundings. And you really do. It's very important for you to learn how to take care of yourself and handle yourself in a situation like that. So I truly love that idea of having the self-defense class because you want to show people through your film what could possibly happen, but now you give them an answer. You give
Right.
them a solution to the problem. Okay, a part of that is learning to defend yourself. A part of that is having that discipline to
Mm-hmm.
be aware of your surroundings.
Yes, and we do plan to have another class. So apparently some people missed it and they were texting me afterwards like, hey, you're going to do another one. So it's going back by popular demand. This one is going to be, a discounted price for $20. It's going to be on July 10th. So we're going to do it the same place in Fisher Park from 10 to 12. And all the proceeds are going to go towards the film. Because we do have a GoFundMe also, but I want to be proactive and actually give something to the community, whether it's free like the last time or discounted rates, just so they can have the opportunity to learn to defend themselves and simultaneously help support our film to get it out on a bigger scale. Because we want to get it out to, different organizations and stuff like that. And I also want to talk to maybe become partners, different people, different groups where they may have, women against rape, things like that, or they might want to support it, or different place. I know they have sometimes human trafficking safe houses they may go to. You never know, like, who it could be helping just to bring awareness and might want to, do something bigger to help stop it. This, we never know how far it can go.
Exactly. And just having that conversation, I mean, it's a lot to see those things play out, but it's so important to have that ingrained in your mind because you want to be safe and you want your family and your children to
Yes.
be safe. And I love the idea of having the little different situations that happen, the being kidnapped while you're playing on your cell phone or driving, in a Uber, and that's not the person that you expected to be, because
it can
again,
happen.
we are so unaware sometimes, and we have tunnel vision, especially when we're on the go, if we have a lot of things weighing on our mind, and we just don't think about our personal safety.
And it's scary. It really is. So I grew up doing it because, I've been doing martial arts with my family since I was 11. So it's been constantly somebody do. So it's like second nature. But not everyone has that experience to know, like, oh my goodness, there's someone to grab me. What do I do? So that's why I know, like, human trafficking, it can happen to anyone. Doesn't matter the age, the gender, whomever. But the film Red Light specifically focuses on the women aspect of it. But of course, we know it can happen to anyone in general. But
what is your goal from now until? So I want to see how this plays out. Or please explain. Could you please explain to the audience what your plans are for this film?
I want to get it out into mainstream because human trafficking isn't something like we said, people always talk about. I want to bring that and bridge the gap between, what, we may not be, like you said, kidnapped and put towards human trafficking, but kidnapping could be the first step and being unassuming and unaware. And so to bridge the gap and just educate people. And like you said, have that conversation where we can put it out there. I want people to watch the film and be uncomfortable because I want them to be in the space and to really put them in their mindset, because I put it the GoFundMe on social media and I got a lot of people, responded and said that the government isn't doing too much about it and that they're hiding it because sometimes it's political people that's in it, people with money and power that support it and that they are involved in it and they don't want to put it out in the forefront. And so people were commenting, making remarks like that, like this is serious and everyone's sweeping under the rug like it doesn't happen. And then you see movies about it and it's true, what happens. And then there are victims, and some victims, unfortunately, they don't make it out. And some do, and it's really sad, but it happens. And to think that although we're just actors playing these parts, these people have lived it. If they've survived it, they've lived through this. And who knows what post-traumatic stress they've had to deal with it because of it, and what emotional state and mental state they've become, and their self-esteem and how they're feeling, and just that feeling of hopelessness and helplessness of being subjected to, I guess, this day and age type slavery, of human slavery, of being forced to do sexual acts or other types of things. We just need to have the conversation to bring it to the forefront.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you started off saying that this film began as a short film, and now you're making it into a feature film. Now, tell me, what made you want to make it into a feature film, and what is that process like, changing your short film into a feature-length film?
So it started because the very first film I made, No Games, with the 5 shorts, had a lot of actors in there, and I wanted to keep making films. I just want to make more films, and I wanted to give people opportunity to be placed in roles that they don't usually see themselves. So it started because I was on Miss Karen Martin Waller, who plays Queen Madame Leray in Red Light, the big boss head of everything. I wanted to see her, the actress, in a role that's unlike what she's done. I know she had mentioned that she gets a lot of like principal or mother or grandmotherly roles where she has to cry and be sad. And I wanted her in a powerhouse role. So I had to figure out what type of film could I make around her being in charge. What would she be in charge of? So started out like these girls, they have Girls for Sale, I guess. It started out human trafficking, a short 2-3 minute skit, but then it wasn't enough. So then it became a short. But then by expanding to a short, and we got the location of the warehouse, I needed more people to fill up the space. And hence I got you guys, the victims. So it's about almost 20 of you guys there, just victims, to be there. And once we had that space, and we were like, wow, we did a great job, but we can expand on it. And so then I started writing the feature around what we shot. So that way everything that we shot could make sense. and the backstories and the flashbacks and the present day can make sense into the, I don't know, 20-minute short that we made. So then I started writing. And then I realized how big this was. And I was like, wow, well, actually, this is going to cost some money to get this done. If we're going to make it like, Netflix approved cameras and stuff like that, and going to need multiple camera operators, director of photography, another producer. Hence, I needed you to help produce with me because this time around it was so much paperwork. I'm like, wait, I need Dawn to help me. And what better? You're wonderful, by the way. I love you. Thank you. And then it's like, all these people are going to need makeup artists on set. So even if people weren't able to, like I had advertised to GoFundMe, weren't able to help out financially, there were other opportunities. Because we have a big fashion show that people got wardrobes. They may want to, put their line out there, their dressy clothes for the fashion show. They might want to offer their services as far as like makeup. Because some of the girls, like my character, she's a little bit beat up here and there sometimes. Someone else, you may have like choke marks on you. It's, we need makeup artists for that. And then I was thinking about the food, feeding these 70 plus people, the cast and crew. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of moving parts. So I was just like, oh goodness, thinking and praying, been going by faith. Like the dates for the films, we finalized it pretty much. It's going to be in September. So the goal is 35,000, but I'm going to rock out with whatever amount we raise with whomever's able, want to do it, believe in the movement. We're just going to rock out and do it. The dates for the warehouse where most of the film takes place, we have availability, thank God. So we're going to use that and get on the go. The ball's been rolling. We've been putting out, interviews, talking to different people, and just sending out press release kits and things of that nature. And like I said, the self-defense classes, just to make it a whole movement and not just a film. It's a whole movement. So now we're bringing that about. So what is this? June, July, August, 3 more months and then we're filming. We're going to be filming. So we're going to be casting next month in July and giving out the scripts and having rehearsals, and then it's time for the cameras, lights, camera, action.
And something that's interesting, because you don't see that, or I guess people don't really think about who's making the film. We see the end result, but we don't see what happens in the background, and
yes.
Being a part of because I started out as a background and now I'm part of your production team, and seeing the different steps and the different views of how this production is happening, or any production really is happening, is a really serious business. And you make it look so easy.
Oh, thank you.
Make it look so, I mean, I know it's not easy at all.
Right.
But, one thing that I definitely appreciated, because you said with the food, you made sure that everyone from the main characters to the, to the crew, to the extras, that we were all comfortable, that we were well fed. You knew everyone's name. And I feel like that is so important on set or in any job, when you have a leader that is kind and considerate and looks at everybody as every player is a valuable player. And that is something about your production company, Lady Ninja Storm Productions, that I value, because and made me want to work with you and be a part of, because you are an excellent leader. And a lot of times we don't see too many women in leadership positions when it comes to filmmaking. So that is one thing that I wanted to point out. And I think that a lot of people will really appreciate that you are the total package. You are the writer, the director, the producer of this film. And your production company, you don't just produce your own productions, you also produce other films and other media. So you are open and available to work with other people as well.
Yes, that was one of the greatest investments I made in myself, I'll say. So first, thank you for the kind words, because you were with me from when I was on the MYLF podcast, and then we're talking, and I was in the mix of making my first film, but I wasn't fully all the way just into the whole filmmaking yet. But then once, so now we've progressed since then, and you were with me every step of the way. I was, our late night conversations and, listening to me like, hey, I think I can do this. What do you think about this? And, and it's just all just comes together and just want to create opportunities, and it was a good investment to, pay for all these films, the projects that I was doing, because now it put me out there, and other people saw what I was able to do, especially the ones, like you said, who were on that big set for Red Light. That was about 35 cast and crew at that time. So now it's gonna be double for the feature. But it was a pretty big cast and crew, all of us, all the working parts, we got it done. And it just opened opportunities. So now the other people, like you said, were able to see me as someone making films or producing. So people who I hadn't spoken to in years or hadn't seen, I got messages like, hey, let me know if you need some help, or hey, I want to work with you, I want to collab. But it's just, I don't have all the time that I would like to work with everyone. So it's just like, okay, I can do this and then this, and I'm trying to, but it's really great. So brought another stream of income on producing with the production company. So now we're hired to be on sets and stuff. And, you come along with me too. And we get to make money together. And we still have, like you said, we're moms. So we still have this life. We live with the moms and take care of the kids. And then we're producing, making films and going on set. So it's all a work in progress together.
Absolutely. It is a work in progress. But it is so inspiring because
rewarding.
It's rewarding, but for someone who's on the other end, like I'm not you, but I'm watching you and I've seen your growth and your progression in your business. And to me, it makes me feel like, wow, I can do this too.
Yes, you can,
and
Dawn.
I think it's important for other people to see that, you can start from just having the desire. As long as you try, don't
have
give
faith
up. Have faith in yourself. If you have a vision, do the work. Just try it out. Test it out. And guess what? God will put people in your life that will help you, that will lead you into the right direction, and that will align with you. And someone that will have, maybe a few people that you can have those late night conversations with, that you can talk to and get out all of your questions and your ideas and help you to map it out. I don't think that God makes mistakes, and everything isn't a coincidence. And I think us meeting time and time again, it wasn't just happenstance. We really have grown to not just a friendship, but even a partnership. And I really truly appreciate that. And that goes to show that women can work together. And I'm not saying this to be like feminist or whatever, but there's that negative stigma that women can't work together and it's always drama. And no, like you can have a team, and you can have a team whether they're white, black, blue, yellow, orange, whatever, male, female, non-binary, whoever, as long as your mindset aligns and everybody is putting in the effort, I mean, you can make it work. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Dream work, dream work makes the dream work for sure.
How can we get more team members to help sponsor this feature-length production and, help us in any way? Because I know you mentioned, it doesn't have to necessarily be monetary. It could be offering services or goods, wardrobe or makeup. How can someone listening in or watching in help with the production of Red Light?
Well, you can start by going to my website. It's www.LaVetaCameron.com. So there it'll take you to, you see our trailer for Red Light on there to see what we shot already. It takes you to the GoFundMe page. Our GoFundMe link is www.gofundme.com/F/Red Light Movie Human Trafficking Awareness, with dashes in between the words. Basically, the website will show you where to go for everything, for links to the social media, to the YouTube channel, Lady Ninja Storm Productions, everything LaVetaCameron.com. It'll take you to the other websites. But yes, we appreciate all your help, and people have been so generous and kind and supportive. So we thank you so much. I hope pray continues so we can reach our goal. And we gotta, want to pay everyone involved as best we can in some type of way. So just, and get the word out and be a part of the team, part of the movement. So thank you, Dawn, for having me.
Thank you for having me as a part of your team, and just putting this out there, doing this, having the vision and creating this movie, because not only is the production in itself with the team and just being you inspiring, but the fact that this is about human trafficking awareness and, sexual abuse awareness,
Right.
and being aware of your surroundings, because it's kind of twofold, because you're doing your film on the awareness of the human trafficking, but again, you're also creating a solution by offering these free classes for self-defense. So I truly appreciate all that you are doing and that you will do. And thank you so much for being a part of the MYLF podcast. And I thank you.
I thank you. I support you and all you do. The MYLF podcast, MYLF review. This is why, in case you guys don't know, I don't know how to do all the creative type things. So I have Dawn over here making my official banners and stuff like that. I'm like, Dawn, can you make this for me? So I added Dawn to my team. She has an email address, dawn@LaVetaCameron.com. She is legit over here. Like, I be having Dawn work. And I'm like, Dawn, can you take over this? Like, listen, this is how we're getting stuff done. Like, I see where, where I lack or can't do or don't have time to do. And Dawn's like, hey, she can do this. And we work together. And I love it. I love our friendship and our partnership in business. And thank you so much. Just thank you. I love you.
Don't touch me.
This is my body. This is my voice. So it's my choice.
I deserve my childhood, not sexual exploitation.
I am worthy. I am not your property.
I am not for sale.
I am not for sale.
To help bring awareness to human trafficking, please make a donation via GoFundMe for the Lady Ninja Storm Productions feature film, Red Light. If you or anyone you know are victims of this criminal activity, please contact the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 888-373-7888 or text HELP or INFO to the number 233-733. Anti-trafficking hotline advocates are available 24/7.